everyone, and welcome to this month's webinar, which is all about flexibility. For those of you who haven't watched before, I'm Veronica, and the first thing we're going to do tonight is just run through some fast facts about Travel Counsellors and who we are as a business. So, I'll flick through that slide. So who is Travel Counsellors and what is Travel Counsellors all about? So just to give you an idea, we do operate in 7 countries around the world. We have just hit the magical 1,000 mark in the UK, so we're at 1,008 TCs now in our UK offices that are looked after from Manchester. 182 in the Netherlands and Belgium, which is looked after in our office in The Hague. 147 now in South Africa from our office in Cape Town, and South Africa are really doing really well at the minute. Lots of recruits there, lots of things happening in that industry. We have 63 in Ireland, looked after from our office in Cork, and 47 in our UAE office in Dubai. And of course, we're currently sitting on 145 travel counsellors here in Australia. So the important thing to remember is that they are all of your colleagues that you will be working with, and that can help and support you throughout your time as a travel counsellor as well. Some fast facts about the business for those who haven't watched a webinar before and haven't had a chance to know a little bit more about us. We were established in 1994 in Bolton in the north of England, and as I said before, we now operate in 7 countries. Our turnover in the last 12 months is $954 million, so by no means are we a small concern, we're quite a large business. As you saw on the slides before, we currently have 1,592 travel counsellors around the world, and that 145 here in Australia. We have over 350 head office staff who are here to support you in all that you do and to help you run your business. We are the only travel company who has won 2 Queen's Awards for Enterprise. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot to us here in Australia, but that is something that is really important in terms of innovation, and you do actually go and meet the Queen to accept that award. So our chairman, David Speakman, has accepted that award from the Queen at Buckingham Palace 2 times, which is a huge deal. Our NPS score is 96%, which places us not only ahead of companies like Apple and Harley Davidson, which we've mentioned there, but we have been certified as the highest NPS score of any business in the world, which is fantastic. For those of you who aren't aware of what NPS is, it's a measurement of customer satisfaction. 97% of our agents wouldn't return to their previous roles, and we have 96% job satisfaction of high or very high, and our agent retention rate is 90% plus. So there's some pretty important figures that talk about who we are as a business and how much our agents love being travel counsellors. For those of you who didn't watch last month's webinar, we did talk about spring and a new start, and how you can boost your business, or how joining your business is all about having a new start in life, as well as a really important boost to your business. We had the ability to speak with Deborah and Simone, but this month we're talking about flexibility. And I went out earlier this week and had the chance to speak with a couple of our travel counsellors. We're going to go to the video footage of Richard first and talk to him about his famous cafe crawls. Hi Richard, how are you going?
Hi Veronica.
So I've come out today to join you on one of your famous coffee crawls.
That's
so can
right.
you explain to me what that is?
Well, it's a way I like to keep within the community of where I live and everything, so I can go in and actually sort of do a little bit of networking within the cafes, make yourself known as like a social entity, I suppose.
Yep.
So typically I'll go to 3 to 4 different cafes throughout the day,
Yeah.
and just to connect with them, to keep in with the local businesses, and also, you know, make sure you're that local identity that people know, you know, they're interested in what you're doing, and they know you're doing the travel, you know.
Yep.
And also, it's a good point, you can actually make sure you've got the posters up,
Yep.
your leaflets, your cards, keeping in contact that way.
Yep.
It's like a treat, in a way. You think, look what I can do.
Yep.
So you think, right, I'm working today, you grab your laptop, out you go.
Yep.
You know, so it's, I mean, I may have bookings to do, you know, so I can sit down, I'm not just networking, I'm not just getting out there, I can actually do my work as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I quite enjoyed that. And I think the clients like the fact that you're out and about and free, you know, and when you talk to them and say, I'm just, I'm out in having a coffee.
Yep.
And I'm just working with my local businesses, and that they like that as well, because they like the personal touch.
So I guess they're the benefits to your business. What about the
Yes.
benefits to you? And
Well, I think it keeps things interesting. It's like an adventure. It's like a treat.
Yep.
Think, right, I'm going to do it this Saturday or this Friday, whatever you choose to do. You can go out and do it.
Yep.
And it keeps things interesting, and it's kind of empowering, because you can actually, I can do everything for myself, for my business, and I can just take my laptop and hop outside.
Yeah, great.
So, yeah.
So I guess they're the benefits of the coffee crawl, but what about the other work-life balance components, I guess,
Yes.
of working for travel counsellors?
Well, I find it's very, very flexible, completely, and so you can really plan it around your day or your week.
Yeah.
Or, so one day you may have lots of social engagements, and next day you may have a lot more work to do. But it's very free. You can balance and judge your day the way you want.
Yeah.
So I do like that a lot.
Yeah. So tell us about before you joined Travel Counsellors. Were you in an office?
Yes, that's right. So I was basically working 8 hours a day.
Yep.
I was enjoying it, but it was 8 hours a day. It was the same kind of thing every day, and there was no freedom there, apart from a few hours where you could change here and there.
Yeah.
There was no big freedom. You had to fit in with the scheduling.
Yeah. And lunch when you wanted lunch, and
yeah,
coffee
that's
when
right.
you
had
a
to
coffee
do
break.
what was effective, I suppose, for the scheduling, and also the commute.
Yes,
each
of course.
day I would have spent 45 minutes, but I had to allow an hour each way, basically.
Yep.
Well, now there's that 2 hours is mine.
Exactly.
And whether I want to work within that 2 hours,
Yep.
or whether it's 2 hours free, it's my 2 hours now.
Yeah. And you can also, I guess, the money that you spent on that commute can go towards the coffee and the cake.
Absolutely.
Really,
Yes.
can't it?
Yeah. It's very productive to use your commute time for your business instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of the flexibility that Travel Counsellors offers, what does that mean to you? And
well, I suppose it means that it was one of the main reasons I wanted to join.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can be in charge of my own life, work, and my own business, which is great. So I think it gives me a lot of freedom. It gives me a lot more social interaction throughout the day or the evening. I can work in the evening or the morning or the afternoon, whenever I want to do.
Yeah.
So it really does open up a whole different lifestyle.
Perfect.
Which I enjoy.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of your stress levels, or
Yes,
have they lowered, or
Yeah, most days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, no, most days I think, because you can. Well, basically, if you've got a really busy day, and you're getting on with stuff, you can actually completely walk away for an hour, do what you need to do to regroup, re-energize, and then come back to it straight away. So that minute you think, do you know what? I need to go for a walk for half an hour, recharge.
do it.
You can absolutely do it.
Yeah.
So, and then on the other side, if you really want to, maybe you want to do a bit of training yourself.
Yep.
There's also, you can feed that into it as well.
Yeah.
So it's dealing with clients differently, it's dealing with your social life differently, it's dealing with you differently, and also your self-development.
Yeah.
Everything. You can fit it all in the way you want.
It's you being in control. Really,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, we've been at this cafe for a while. The sun's out, so maybe we should head to another one. What do you think?
Perfect.
Okay. Thanks, Richard.
You're welcome.
And thanks again to Richard for joining us and spending some time with us in the cafe, of course, which wasn't all bad. It wasn't a hard day's work for me. But the important messages, I guess, that Richard has told us there is definitely, it's all about going out and being in the local community. And although you do have a coffee and a cake along the way, it's more about building your business in terms of networking as well. But it's about being flexible. As Richard said, he can go out and attend industry events. He can even travel himself to get some more product knowledge, and he can still run his business while he's doing it. No one's telling him to go to the toilet at the right time or to have lunch at a certain time or anything like that, which is really important. Now, we're also going to go to some video of another travel counsellor, Tina, whose flexibility in her business is slightly different to Richard's. But just before that, I just want to talk a little bit about salaries and how we, as travel counsellors, have uncapped earnings, but also talk about the averages, which is something that people who are looking at joining the business are really interested in. So if we could just go to those slides, please. So the first slide that you see here shows the averages of travel counsellors and their earnings over their first 3 years with the company when they join us without an existing database. So in the first year, your average wage is around 43,500, 43,418. In the second year, it increases to 63,000 or a little over, and in the third year, the average salary that our travel counsellors earn is around 82. So as with any small business, obviously as you build the business, you start to earn more money, and obviously these are averages. So some people don't earn quite this much, and some people earn considerably more than that. If we just jump to the next slide, you can see that this is the average for our top 10 sellers. So the figures are much higher. Again, they all started without existing databases. So in the first year, our top 10 sellers earned an average of 92,000, which is, quite a nice little salary. In the second year, that grew to 131,000 or a little over, and then in the third year, 170,000. So you can see the uncapped earning potentials there when you're running your own business and using our Phoenix systems to ensure that you are making more than you ever have before. So there's some data. Now Tina, who we're about to talk to, we've stolen a quote from her, and what she said is, "I'm earning more now than I've ever done in my entire career and working from home, and my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner." So what a perfect opportunity to jump to the video of Tina and hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Hi Tina.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having us over.
Pleasure.
In your home and your office, I guess.
I know.
Or maybe not the same.
Well, we're not in there because it's too messy.
Yeah. So we're out here. So I guess today's topic is flexibility. So can we talk about how working for travel counsellors makes your life a little bit easier in terms of fitting things in?
Yeah, I would never have thought 6 years ago I could have been running my own business in the travel industry, which is fantastic. Something that I've got a massive passion for. So to be able to do this and have the flexibility around my family life was just, off the scale. That was definitely a tick for me.
Yeah.
Being around to be able to pick them up, to be able to take them to the doctors, to netball, lifestyle, everything that they have going on, you feel like you're a taxi service anyway.
Yeah.
But to be able to fit my work-life balance around that was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, so talk to us about the family. So what does the family consist of?
So I've got
Two dogs running around there.
Yeah, you might hear them barking in a bit. I've got Lily, who's 13. So when I started 6 years ago, she would have been, what?
Yeah, 7?
7, there you go.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I was just testing you.
I know.
And then Will, he's now 17. So again, he needs me more at the moment because he's gone into year 12. So, but yes, so obviously he was only 10 when I started. So I needed to be there to take them to school. I needed to be there to pick them up, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was in a 9-to-5 job, as we all know. So yes, you have there's risk factors of can I build this business, but to me it was a no-brainer. I just hit the ground running with it, spoke to everybody, and developed over 6 years, and it's been brilliant. I mean, the kids initially, when I first started working from home, thought I was still at home.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest things I had to get over, where my daughter would say, "Mom, can you take me to Southland? Mom, can you take me here?" And no, I'm working. So yes, that was a little but it took probably a year. I would probably say when she actually the penny dropped.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean now they've got rep netball and soccer, and so for me to be able to say and drop tools at 4 o'clock and go and take her up to Glen Waverley, then that's a great thing. So,
yeah. So I guess it's talking about the family and how it all fits in with them, but how else is it flexible? Do you go to the gym, or how does
can't you tell?
Yeah.
We need to go more.
I
Yeah, so that's actually one of my biggest networking places, but I do enjoy going to the gym. So, my daily routine is to get up, walk the dogs, do all of that before I take the kids, or Lily mainly, to school, because Will will go on his bike now. Yeah. And then hit the gym and come home and then start my working day 10:30, 11 o'clock. There's nothing really that I've not monitored that morning on my emails that I can wait until 10:30, 11 o'clock. But obviously my day doesn't have to finish at 5:30 either. So even if I have to pop out and do the school run or the netball run or the soccer run, the vets, you name it, I can still pick up something at 6, 7 o'clock at night and carry on for another couple of hours.
Yeah, so it's whatever works for you in that day and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And your workload.
Yeah.
So,
do you think you would be running your own business if not for Travel Counsellors?
No. Not
do you think
doing
you'd
this.
be working in travel?
Would I? No. I actually don't in some respects, because I think it would have been too hard for me to be able to put myself in those fixed hours. With my husband working full time and he's away a lot, then I really needed to be at home and be there for the kids. And the dogs. When I initially looked at thinking of going back into the travel industry and if it would still work for me, I just Googled away working from home as an agent. So I actually thought it would be something I would probably get a salary for. So somebody that would probably take me on because of my experience for 2 or 3 days a week, or you worked your flexible hours and you got paid a salary, and initially that's what I thought. And then when I found Travel Counsellors and I got the recruitment package through and all of that, I realised actually that this was fantastic. I can actually work. Yes, you didn't have a guarantee, but it's something that I could drive and earning
much more than you would have working 3 days a week or something.
Exactly. And there's no cap to what you earn. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
So I guess kind of wrapping up our conversation, what would you say to a mum who's got a couple of kids and really wants to drive their career? Is this something that would work for them?
For sure, definitely. And it is a risk in a salary point of view, because unless you're actually booking, you're not getting any money for it, which is why you've got to value yourself very early, and which is why the margin is important. But getting yourself out there and networking, whether it be in the local gym or at the park with the kids, is a definite plus. And that's a great way to network. To me, it doesn't feel like it's a chore. It's just natural. We'll go and have a coffee. We talk about, you're going on holiday. I just booked somebody and they're off to Bali or whatever it is, and it's just conversation. And it's a great way for them to think, okay, is that what you do? Because, unless you talk the talk, nobody's going to know. When I go to the gym, my biggest network is that now, especially, and we all go for a coffee afterwards, and I don't look at it and look at my time and go, I've got to get back, I've got to do this, and I think, no, this is my network. This is where I'm just going to start talking about where I've been, what I've done, and listen to their stories too. I think not having to worry about childcare, you've got to work out how much that's going to cost you to be, comparison to what you could potentially be earning. And I just think work out those factors as well of how much your outgoings would be if you were in a full-time job, to your flexibility of not having to do that, but plus being able to put the time in for your own business and earn potentially an unlimited, an unlimited salary.
Thanks for having us over, Tina.
That's all right. It's a pleasure. My tea's gone cold now.
And thanks again for Tina for letting us into her home. I don't know if you could see in the background there. I think you could see it in the reflection from the picture frame that was behind Tina. But she had one of her handymen there painting the door, so she was all worried we could see that. And we were like, no, you can't see that. But I just saw in the playback you could, but all good. So I guess, in closing and talking about both Richard and Tina and what flexibility means to them, is it's really important to remember that as a travel counsellor and to everyone, flexibility means different things. So what that means to you is what it can mean. So whatever you want to do with your business, you can within Travel Counsellors. So if you want to work early in the morning because your husband works late at night, or whatever it might be, so that you can both look after the children, or your partner, I shouldn't say husband, of course it could be your wife, or if it's more about your social commitments or being able to go out and network and learn more about the industry and find your business. Tina and Richard are both great examples of how flexibility works completely different for completely different people, and what that shows is that whatever flexibility means to you and whatever you want your work-life balance to look like, Travel Counsellors enables you to do that. But it also enables you to do that whilst you're still earning more than you ever would have before. So in closing, I would like to say please give us a call. We haven't had any questions during the live show, but please feel free to email something through or to give me a buzz. I'll be online now for probably the next half hour if anyone's got any questions, or you can always use these numbers into the future if you want to contact us. Again, thank you to both Richard and Tina for sharing what flexibility means to them and how much they love being travel counsellors. And hopefully we'll see you next month for our webinar, which is a really exciting one. All of the global team are getting together to shoot, so please make sure you tune in for that. But good night, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.